What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first episode of the Lead Gen Agency Guide 101 mini-series. And the topic today, as you could probably already tell from the title, is going to be how to price your services. But before we get into that, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit the post notification bell as well, because I'm going to be dropping videos at least 2 times a week, and you guys are not going to want to miss it. All right, so enough of that, guys. Let's jump straight into the video. When it comes to pricing your services, it's one of those things that people don't understand. You need the fundamental understanding of human psychology when it comes to pricing your services. And the reason why I say that is so many agencies think it's okay to just slap a price tag with their service and then have a client pay. It just doesn't work like that. You guys need to be able to justify why you're charging the price that you're charging. Because without that, that's when you come across objections. Clients are saying that's too expensive. Clients are going to be saying things like, well, I can get it cheaper elsewhere. The reason why you face objections when you tell them your pricing is because you haven't made it an infinite upside and a zero downside for these guys. You need to make it abundantly clear and justify why your price is a big steal for them and they need to pay it now. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 ways that you guys can price your services and how it's going to make it irresistible for clients to say no. And if you guys haven't got it already, get a pen and a piece of paper and we're going to jump straight into this video right now. All right, guys, so the first way that you're going to want to price your services is by using an LTV calculator. Essentially, what LTV means is lifetime value. It is not enough to be slapping a service fee without justifying the reasons as to why you're charging it. So first and foremost, you guys either need to create a formula like this, and if you can't be asked to create a formula, then go down into the description of this video. There will be a link to join my free Facebook group, and from there, you guys will get the gift on arrival if you guys get accepted into that group, because there are some contingencies, etc., etc. But that being said, what you guys are going to want to do with this LTV calculator is use it when you're justifying the prices that you're going to be charging. So let's say you've had your discovery call, the client is qualified, you've booked in the second meeting, and essentially you're going to be jumping on call with these guys. So essentially, when they ask you about pricing, you're going to be like, look, John, what we like to do, because most agencies slap a service fee without justifying what they charge, we understand that certain businesses are bigger than others. So instead of giving you a cookie cutter price tag, we're actually going to work out a specific price tag that is fair for you and fair for me as well. And from there, you essentially just want to break down the numbers. So you're going to be asking your client, how much is the average price of your service? So when it comes to local businesses, they're either going to be service-based businesses or contractor-based businesses. Let's use a contractor for this example. Let's say their contracting service costs 6K. They have I don't know, an 80% profit margins. Actually, that's not realistic. Let's do a 65% profit margins. Let's say that they return, the customer, bearing in mind, returns 2 times each year, and they stay on for, let's say, 5 years. That's fine. How many referrals? Let's say they give you no referrals, or they give the business no referrals. So straight away, the formula works out that the average lifetime value for that customer, or how much that customer is worth to that business, is $21,000, right? So we know that's the average. So that means it can be a low end average of 10.5K or a high end average of 31.5K. So you're going to be like, John, we've just worked this out. Would you agree that this is the case? He's going to be like, yes, because we have literally broken down the numbers that he has given us. We haven't made these things up. He has given it to us, right? And then you want to break it down and go down here. So essentially what you're going to want to say is, John, so if we brought you 4 new customers, on average, the lifetime value of those 4 customers would be 84,000. And that's how much that would be worth to your business over the course of the next 5 years for those 4 customers. So John, we're actually going to be charging you, let's say $3,000. And then the ad spend we recommend is 50% of the actual service fee. So your outgoings every single month, John, will be 4.5K. Now, we understand that that's not the case all the time, and we understand this is based on averages. However, if we brought you 0.2 customers, essentially 1 customer, on average, because of their lifetime value that we've just worked out, that's going to be the amount of customers that you guys need to break even. Anything above that is going to be profit. So then if we brought you 5 customers, John, the lifetime value of those 5 customers over the course of the next 5 years on average is going to be 100K, 200K, 300K. Right, Shemar, those numbers aren't realistic. All right, let's change it a little bit then, guys. So let's use 4K, or even, let's use 4K. Let's use 50% profit margins. Let's say they don't return and they stay on for 3 years. This is going to be a more realistic approach, but the principles literally remain the same. The lifetime value on average is 6K, the low end average is 3K, the high end average is 9K. And that means if we brought them 4 new customers, that's going to be worth 24K for their business. And let's say you're going to be charging 2.5K and the ad spend is going to be 1.25K. That means every single month, John, you're going to be paying 3.75K to my business. So, John, we would only need to bring you literally one customer, and that's how you guys are going to break even based on the lifetime value. If we brought you 5 customers, it's going to be worth 26K to your business, 10, 56, and 15 is 86K. That's how simple the lifetime value calculator is. You will get more realistic numbers, obviously, when you speak to the client. But essentially, what you guys are going to want to do is break down how much each customer is worth to their business and justify why you're charging what you're charging. So if he says 2.5K is too much, then you can go down and put 2K, and then it changes all the principles. But essentially, you're breaking down the numbers live on call to these individuals. That is the first method. So as you guys can see from that first pricing structure method, it is so important that you understand how much each customer is worth to that business. If you guys don't, then you have no foundation for charging those high ticket prices that you guys hope to be charging, because logistically it just simply won't make sense. You can't charge 2.5K a month when the lifetime value of each customer is $20. That is why you guys need to work it out live on call and use the client's numbers, because they can't backtrack once they give you the figures and facts. Because once you actually start working at the lifetime value and then you justify the prices, it's all going to make sense for them. That being said, we're going to jump into the next method right now. All right, guys, so I've just shown you the first method. The second method now is essentially using the same lifetime value calculator, because that's the fundamental of pricing your services. But instead of charging a service fee, we're going to be charging a ROAS, a percentage ROAS. So depending on how much customers you bring them, you're going to be getting a percentage kick from that every single month. So let me break that down and explain how that works. So the process still remains the same. We're going to be charging or figuring out the lifetime value of each customer. Let's just put in some dummy data. Average purchase value, 3,000, 70% profit margins, no returns. Let's say they don't even come back in years, right? It's just one-time fee. That's it, basically done, right? So we know that the lifetime value is $900. The low end average is $450. The high end average is $1,350. So based on that, what you guys can then go down here and do and say, look, all right, John, so we know that the lifetime value of your customers is $900. So what that means is for every customer, we're actually going to be charging 25% of every appointment, every lead, every individual that we bring into your business and purchases. So one thing that you guys can say for this type of pricing model is you can charge a straight upfront fee. So you can say, look, John, we're actually not going to be charging a monthly retainer. What we're going to be doing is charging a 2.5K setup fee, one-time payment, and then we're going to be charging a percentage ROAS on the back end every single month. That means for every single client or customer we bring you that's worth $900, we're going to be taking a more realistic percentage is 15%. So we're going to be taking $135 for every single customer that we bring you. How does that sound, John? That simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. You can charge a higher one-time setup fee, but then on the back end, you're going to be getting $135 for every customer you bring them. This pricing model works very, very well when you're working with a very lucrative local business sort of industry, like, for example, roofing, where they charge high ticket retainers, or a service that can basically rudimentarily get scaled up, whether that's hedge trimmers, garden renovators, that sort of stuff, right? So that's what you guys are going to do for the second pricing structure that we've just talked about. All right, guys, so hopefully you found value from those first two methods in terms of how you should be pricing your services. You're probably wondering or waiting on the last method, but that method is specifically for individuals that have watched my free training on taking you guys from 99% of local lead gen agencies to being a part of the 1%. This pricing structure simply won't make sense because you guys need to understand the frameworks behind charging 7, 10, 15K up front and then still getting paid a percentage ROAS on the back end. I'll put up a picture of what that pricing structure looks like. But guys, if you haven't seen the free training, I really recommend that you guys go and watch it. I talk about the Blitz Offer Framework, a framework that's going to take you to become a 1%er, and how these guys work less but charge infinitely more than you, despite you guys spending ridiculous amounts of hours working on your business every single month. It's not sustainable to be offering ridiculous guarantees and stupid offers. You guys need to implement the framework that the guys at the top of the industry are currently implementing. So if you haven't watched that free training, I speak about the final pricing method in that, and that's going to be in the description for you guys to go and watch as well. So hopefully at this point, guys, you've learned something in terms of how to implement one of these pricing structures to actually go forth, say to clients and justify why you're charging the price that you're charging. Most agencies aren't doing this. So you guys already have a competitive edge when it comes to justifying those high ticket prices that you guys plan on charging. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Look out for episode 2 in the Lead Agency Guide 101, and I'm going to be dropping more value and just helping you guys take your agency to the next level. See you guys then.